Tonset Wild Killer here, and we're back with another chapter of Blank Space. This is day 12, and it is called Toast. Toast. Anyways, we will continue this. Let's go. Lawrence went to bed that night feeling nothing but happiness. Garth painted him, and thought his eyes were beautiful. He snuggled up in his blankets, smiling brightly and temporarily forgetting all of the troubles of last week or so, and letting a childlike glee fill him. Why did this make him so happy? It was a simple act, a way for Garth to see him in better light. But for some reason, Lawrence couldn't stop thinking about it. He couldn't wait for the next morning to talk to Garth again, to hear his sweet and smooth British accent that sent chills up his spine. It felt strange. One moment feeling hatred and anger towards someone, then absolutely adoring them the next. Was this how people usually felt around their friends? It didn't feel like it, but maybe it was. Lawrence really didn't know. All he knew was that falling asleep that night was difficult, and his mind was swimming with thoughts. The next morning, Lawrence practically leaped out of bed, flipping his switch and waiting for Garth to wake up. He waited for a few moments by the mirror, but heard nothing, so he assumed Garth hadn't turned on his speaker yet. While he waited for breakfast and Garth, Lawrence grabbed his guitar and began to strum for fun. Each chord and note was happy and giddy, full of bubbliness that could only be described as a child's first crush, and maybe that's exactly what it was. As he strummed, his mind drifted back to the real world. He remembered the message the woman gave to them. How they needed to escape. His music began to become a little more dark, slower paced and ominous. It wasn't on purpose, but he kind of just played whatever he was feeling. He looked over at the little door that slid open, revealing 2 slices of toast and a glass of milk. His icy eyes filled with worry as he stopped strumming and looked at the white speaker, waiting for the familiar voice of the woman to fill the room. The voice was so comforting as it was the only connection he had to another human in all of his years of isolation, other than Garth, of course. It never came on. Fear struck Lawrence's stomach as he waited. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Nothing. He walked over to the plate of food and quickly scarfed it down, looking at the speaker every few seconds. Part of him knew that he wasn't going to hear her comforting voice, but the rest of him was holding on desperately for her to speak. Tears welled in his eyes. Then Garth's speaker switched on and he spoke. "Lawrence," he said, his voice serious and firm. "The picture of you is still here. It didn't disappear." Lawrence could hear Garth's voice tremble a little, but he wasn't sure if it was from joy or slight uneasiness, as if he too felt something was off. It was at this moment that Lawrence realized something, and it shook him to the core. "We need to get out of here, Garth. I think we're on our own now." "What?" Garth asked, confused. "Why would you say that? Everything is the same as it was before, except for the painting of you staying." "No," Lawrence replied firmly. "I know every routine, every moment, and every second of this isolated fortress, and everything has changed. It's all different now. The routine, the people, the meals, the studies, I bet." "How do you know?" Garth protested, fear lacing his tone. "Every Tuesday I get a cinnamon roll for breakfast. No matter what, it's always the same. It marks the day I was put into this awful place. It was a Tuesday, 12 years. It's been like that, never changing ever. It was almost like a way of apologizing for putting me here." "Okay. And today is Tuesday morning, and I got toast." And that's where we end the chapter. Well then. Damn. Like if you liked, comment, what do you think's gonna happen next after this? I'm curious. Subscribe if you want to. Share if you want to. And everything is in the description below, like, the author and where to read the book if you want to read it on your own and stuff like that. I will see you guys next time. See ya!